My good friend Kyle Spence, who's been a mainstay on my show and helped with a lot of different things over the years, he sent me something that was interesting um, over the weekend. And this was from, I believe, let's see here, um, ESPN. I don't know who wrote this, but ESPN came out with their ceiling and floor for each top 25 team. Did you see this?
No.
Your mind's gonna be blown. I want you to I'll read the excerpt here. And this is just a little summary of Iowa. With no Penn State, Oregon, Michigan, or USC in the schedule, the Hawkeyes own one of the Big Ten's more favorable slates. The Hawkeyes don't have to knock off Ohio State to make it to the Big Ten championship game, but an upset victory in Columbus could elevate Iowa into prime position to make it to Indy and potentially the playoff. So I don't know who's writing this. It's signed by some guy named Trotter. I don't know if he's an ESPN. I'm assuming he's just an ESPN guy. But anyways, he says the key game of the season is at Ohio State, October 5th. What an original pick there. But I'm curious, he gave his ceiling, his record ceiling, and his record floor. What do you think those numbers are?
Okay. People love this ceiling floor business.
I know. It's a stupid conversation.
I'm not a big fan of it because truly they could lose to anybody in the Big Ten. I think anybody in the Big Ten is capable on the right day, or at least on their schedule, of beating them. But the probabilities of that happening is just astronomical. And I think that Illinois State's they could lose to Illinois State. So in a sense, they could be 12-0, 0-12. Okay, let's throw that out of the way and let's be more reasonable. Their ceiling is 12-0. That is their ceiling.
Okay, were we talking reasonable ceiling or just
Ohio State's not an NFL team. That will be a really good game. And I think Ohio State might be the best team in the country, but they could lose.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what's more reasonable? Iowa losing to UCLA on the road or Iowa beating Ohio State on the road? What's more likely to happen?
Question.
What's more likely to happen?
I am going to slightly go in the direction of an upset against Ohio State.
Really? See, I would go the other way.
Yeah, I get it.
I would go the other way. So what do you think, ESPN? Because I think there has to be some reasonableness when you're talking ceiling, floor, even though it's a stupid, kind of a foolery conversation.
And if Ohio State had the quarterback situation they had with CJ Stroud or Justin Fields, wow.
Yeah.
They would be the consensus number one right now. But they've got more like a top 20 quarterback. 12-0. And if I remember the schedule correctly, I think we kind of did this a few weeks ago, and I went 7-5.
So ESPN boggles my mind. Whoever this Trotter guy is, I don't want people to go flood his DMs on Twitter and rip him.
Oh boy,
he's got Iowa's floor as 4-8. Okay, which is stupid. Okay, well, it's just stupid. He's
taking it near the extreme that I tend to. So
we can just throw any number out there, and their floor is 2-10. I mean, it's just stupid. Let's have some sort of a reasonableness here as it relates to his ceiling. 10-2. That's their ceiling, according to this guy. With the and I looked. Here's the deal. I believe it was. Where did I see the probabilities? I think I took a picture of these things, but I saw somebody came out with probabilities. On Iowa's schedule, like is it ESPN's FPI rankings or whatever it was?
I like to guess these. So before you give them, let me guess them.
Oh, I don't know where it's
at. Say in that synopsis that they've got a shot to beat Ohio State?
Yes. Yeah, that's the ceiling is 10-2. Well, how could the ceiling be 10-2? Mark, they've got a chance to be favored in every game but Ohio State.
Yeah, and if they've got a good shot, not a good shot or whatever you want to phrase it, of beating the team that most people believe is the best or second best team in the country, then as a ceiling, that doesn't make any sense.
So I'm seeing, okay, here are the, you want to guess the FPI?
Yes, I
love to guess these. Win probabilities
Yeah.
for Iowa, according to ESPN's FPI. Let's start with Illinois State.
A 98.
92.9.
Okay, I should have. Okay. Okay,
You're gonna have
this resets me a little
all
bit.
right.
Okay.
Iowa State at home.
At home. 64.
59.4.
Okay.
Troy at home.
87.
You're high on all these. 76.4. That's a little low. That's a
They
little low.
yeah,
Troy.
they would beat this is how I figure these. They would beat Troy more than 76 out of 100 times at
I would
home.
think so. Or
Yes.
you could just dumb it down, say at least 8 times out of 10.
Well, yeah.
Minnesota on the road.
ESPN loves they are big on home field advantage. They are huge on home field advantage. I'm going to say 56.
58.1.
It's too low.
Okay. Ohio State. You don't like Minnesota.
I don't, and I like Iowa.
Ohio State on the road.
Oh my goodness. 16.
13%.
Oh, shoot, that was going to be my first. That was the first thing that went through my mind.
Washington at home. Win probability.
72.
58.5. See, I'm telling you, they're higher. These metrics are all higher. These pollers and they're higher on Washington than you and I are. Michigan State. That game's also on the road.
On the road. 61.
Bingo. 60.8. Northwestern.
At home.
At home.
71.
You're getting better. 68.1. Wisconsin at home. You're going to be low on this.
58.
Yeah, you hit it. 57.8. I figured you'd be closer to 52 or 53. They, for some reason, don't have one for UCLA yet, which I don't know why that's the case. No idea. Maryland on the road. This is the most difficult one, I think.
Oh my word! It should be. It should be about 65 at least. They're going to go 58.
50.1.
Wow, coin flip against Maryland.
Yeah, isn't that something?
I think it's 65 minimum.
Wow. Nebraska at home.
58.
59.8. So basically, we're way off on Troy. We're way off on, you were way off on, you think Iowa's got a better chance against Ohio State, definitely. And then Maryland on the road. But 50.1. So slight favorites, tiny little slight favorites. But that's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. This is ESPN's FPI, and you got an ESPN writer saying Iowa's floor is 10-2 when they literally are favored in preseason in every single game there. They're favored besides Ohio State.
The only thing I'll say to that is if you deal with probabilities, and I don't think it necessarily works this way in football, but this is the way the math works. If you're a 60% probability against one team and you're a 60% probability the next week against the next team, the probability of winning both of those games is 60 times 60. So it's only 36% that you're going to win both of those games.
I understand.
Mathematically. And I don't agree with that. But
yeah.
That's the way the math works.
But again, ceiling. The concept of ceiling, right?
Yeah.
The best thing that could possibly happen, right?
College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under the radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.